Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone out there. Welcome to another episode of Secrets in Medical Device Sales brought to you by the Girls of Grit. We are
Good
so excited.
morning. Hello, everybody.
That's right. We are so excited to have you guys all back. Hi, Cindy. It's good to see you. Even if it's just on camera, it's so good to see your face.
Oh, it's great to see you too. And I tell you, when we talk about seeing, this really aligns with what we're talking about today.
Yes.
I am really excited. Here we are on Power Play number 5. And I kind of gave a hint. We talk about seeing things. This is about a vision. And I don't know about you, but I wear glasses. And let me tell you what a difference it makes when I wear my contacts versus when I don't. You don't want me driving on the road without my corrective vision.
You know what's so
We're so
funny is I was making fun. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I totally just thought of something. I was totally making fun of Billy last night because he's like, "Do you have my glasses?" I'm like, "No, I don't have your glasses." He's like, "Here, take my glasses, put them in your purse." I'm like, kind of funny. I still don't need glasses. And he's like, "That's because of your cat eye." I'm like, "Whatever, dude. I love my cat eye. It's like X-ray vision."
Oh, the fun part about getting older, when your eyes decide, you know what, my lenses are going to harden. I'm going to make it harder to see. Oh, yeah, so fun. But you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, we age with grace. What can I say? Wisdom comes along with it. But as long as
Yeah.
we have glasses to correct our vision, we can see clearly and know where we're going, which is our topic for today. I am so excited. This is kind of fun as we are here on number 5, our 5th power play, in really trying to pull out the things that make a high performer a high performer. What separates us? Tell me this, Lisa. Do you know any CEOs that have no vision?
No. Honestly, I can't even imagine a leader that doesn't have a vision because it's like, wouldn't they just be walking around in circles, not really going anywhere? If there
Hmm.
was a person that, I mean, they would literally be chasing their tail. Literally, that
Yeah.
exact example. I picture a cat, cats that like do like circles in like the living room. You're like, oh my gosh, that cat is so weird. But yeah, like I don't think that who would be inspired by something like that? I wouldn't follow them. I wouldn't want to lean on them. I definitely wouldn't want to work for them if they didn't have an overarching vision of where they want to take the company or what they want for their employees or just the entire feeling of the company. What are they striving to achieve? So today is so
Yes.
important, Cindy. I think it's so important because each and every one of us need to have our own visions, and that is personal as well as professional. We need to be able to have that. And I love your term North Star, Cindy. It's so important that we as high performers are constantly thinking about, and even if you've hit your certain vision and you want to keep moving forward, you need to have that overarching, I don't know, dream of where you
Yes.
want to be, where you want to go. It could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, because that's really what's going to guide you like a North Star.
And you just said, can you imagine a CEO not having a vision? He'd
Oh my
be a
gosh.
cat spinning circles. But now let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
When have you been a cat?
Wait, what?
Seriously.
What'd you say? Wait,
When
what?
when have you been a cat?
Oh,
See?
golly. You know what?
And
That like
I
totally
bet,
just threw me.
yes, I bet anybody listening can stop for a minute and tell me a moment when they've been a cat. What's
Yeah.
that stuff called? Is it called catnip? Is that what they
Catnip.
chase on a string?
That's like, I
My
think that's what makes them like crazy. I think it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Oh,
it's some
okay.
weird, yeah.
All
But
right.
you're
Well, I
right.
guess I
It
don't
is.
know
It's
much
just,
about cats.
no,
Will
it
they
is the
chase
thing that
it
they
and they
chase on.
spin around?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like the dog. Have you ever been to a dog track and they have the rabbits that the dogs chase? Have you ever seen that? It's totally wild.
I don't know if I've
So
seen a rabbit, but I
yeah,
believe you.
so well, okay, so in podunk towns, we don't have cool horse racing, we have dog racing. So you can go and you can bet on these dogs, and it's not like horses at all. But they have this like fake rabbit, and the rabbit takes off around the track, and the dog's like, oh, but it's literally going in a circle, Cindy. Like it's not going anywhere. It's the same thing every single time those dogs get out there. Nothing changes about the rabbit. They never catch the rabbit, right? They never
Mm.
actually achieve to catching the rabbit, and they just keep chasing around this thing that is never going to come to fruition. And if you think about that as that aligns with a vision, you want to make sure that when you are creating a vision, which you should have as a high performer, you got to make sure that it is absolutely attainable. Yes, dream big. Yes, make these dreams a reality. But the truth is, you also need to make sure it's not so like crazy far, like I want to fly to space. Okay, that might be a little far fetched. I don't know. Who knows? In 20 years, who knows? But my point is that don't make it something that you're continuing to chase over and over and over and over again, because the truth is, after a while, you're not going to believe that it's ever going to happen.
Well, I also look at that dog, a race or whatever, it's chasing the rabbit, is they don't have a vision. They're just following along with what's ahead of them.
Yeah.
How many of
Good
us
point.
just follow the rabbit, right? It's like, okay, get in the ring and go. What if you got in the ring and you're like, I want to climb in the stadium steps. I want to go higher and higher and
Oh,
higher.
I
I want to
love
get to
that.
that level. So now I have to think like, I want to get to be a dog that gets to run out of the ring. And so
Yes.
it's the same in our lives. So this is, I think, one of the most fun things to do is to have a vision because everybody gets to dream. And I think that dreams have no ceilings. You know what? If your dream is to go to space, make that your dream to go to space because look at what's going on now. I mean, with
Yeah,
Elon
true.
Musk and
Who
all these other
knows?
people, like maybe you need to be a millionaire. Okay, well, guess what? If you want to go to space, you need to be a millionaire. Let's start thinking about how you're going to do it. That's something you
You're
really
right.
want to do. You
Yeah.
only get one life, just one life. And if it means going to space, find a way to do it. So that's where I think our focus today is all on vision. And we're going to kind of break it down into three different areas that is important in having a vision. But number one is clarity. And so I need to define what I mean by that. Clarity is just getting clear on your vision. What is it you want? Is it that
Yeah.
you want to go to space? Is it you
Yeah.
want to be a dog that climbs the top of the stadium? But this is where it gets really fun because I'm going to ask you, Lisa, why don't you tell me one of your visions, but don't want you to just say it. Because do you remember back in elementary school and you had to learn the five senses? Do you remember that when you were little? What are your five senses? Right?
I
Sight,
love that. Hmm.
sound, smell, touch, see, feel. How can you describe your vision to me using all five senses?
Ooh, I like that. Gosh, Cindy, you're like really making me think this morning. So
I know you're on weekend brain, I mean, you're half asleep.
I've
It's
had
coming
three
into the
cups of
new
coffee, by
week.
the way. I have had 3 cups of coffee. Your new coffee, by the way, which is amazing. I
Love it.
love it. I love it. All right. Well, I've told you, you and I talk about vision boards. It's absolutely, and I actually don't have a vision board that I can hold, which I really should do it, but I see it so clearly in my head. And I have seen this for years, that
Okay.
I
Do
really
share.
I want a place. Of course, I'd love it in Amelia Island on the beach where every morning, and I'm like closing my eyes, I can imagine this. I can smell the ocean. I can hear the waves. I can feel the sun, or even if it's not the sun. I've told you that I want to have a home that has a fireplace that I can look out when it's cold on cold days and the ocean is rolling in, that you're warm inside with blankets. But I also want a place where my entire family can come and have family reunions and vacations with all of my kids and all of their kids and like have it so big. And we all are sitting around this big wooden long table, sharing stories over breakfast and coffee or wine and dinner. And just like the whole feeling of comfort, of family, of just this sense of completion that, wow, we did it. We created something amazing that everybody wants to be a part of and wants to come back to. So for me, that is something that I continually put out there every morning when I get up. I think about my ultimate vision.
I love that. And so I want to just like that. I've always dreamed of having a beach house too. So not like the same vision as you, but very, very similar. So just for our listeners, I want them to really know what I mean by really getting clear with your vision. So, okay, your vision, beach house. What color do you want?
It's white or
Okay,
light
so it's
colored.
white.
Yeah.
All right,
Hmm.
so you can see the color, you can see the
Yes.
ocean. So that's your one sense. You got sight. Now you can sound. You hear the ocean. Do you hear your kids running around? Do you hear their feet
100%.
pattering on
Yeah.
the, are the floors wooden? Are they the vinyl
Yeah.
plank? Like
Yeah.
get really, really detailed. Can you now taste the wine that you're talking about sitting down? You can taste the food that you've made. It's like the salt in the air. Now you can go outside and you can smell the ocean when you get that really salty. Oh, I love the smell of salt air and it's like sticking. You can feel the
Yeah.
sand stuck on the bottom of your feet. It's like the gritty sand. You can feel it and you can see it. And that's a vision. That's when you write down a vision. That's where you go and you can do it old fashioned. You can pick up a magazine and you can find a White House where you can see some sand. You can look at like, maybe I'd put these floors in and then plan the meal. Like, know the menu when you sit down at that big long table and all your family and everybody's talking and loud and elbowing people and somebody wants to sit here and somebody wants to sit there. It's like when your vision becomes a movie in your mind, it becomes very clear. And now you make this
Love that.
mind movie and you've got a path to follow. So when we talk about getting clear in a vision, make it
Mhm.
so much fun. Live it, feel it. I mean, Lisa, let's just take an example for our listeners. I want to talk about our podcast. When I think of what we are doing in our podcast, I think about down the road and I think about where are we going to be? You know,
Yeah.
wasn't it Tony Robbins that said it's something like, I don't remember the exact word, but it's like, where will you be in 10 years? So, like, put yourself, like, see where you'll be in
Mm.
10 years.
Mhm.
And then I kind of think, all right, let's think about that. How many women will we have impacted through our podcast and helping them be high performers? And how much will we grow and where will we see, people that write into us and ask us to cover topics? And I hope today we inspire somebody to make a big vision and get clearer instead of just being that dog chasing the rabbit. Let's face it, in medical device sales, you could chase a rabbit all day long,
You're
right?
exactly right. Yes, you're exactly right. And I loved your idea of breaking out of that pattern, getting out of the pattern of going around in a circle, chasing something that one, I mean, at some point, you might just get tired of chasing it. You have to have that passion, like you're talking about, like we've talked about. You need to have it play like a movie in your head, envision it, and something that drives you to want to achieve more. And for us with our podcast, Cindy, I envision you and I being people that women want to come to in droves to talk to us about their experiences and their hardships and their hurdles that they're trying to overcome because we've done that for so long. And all we want to do is empower you guys to not only achieve what we've done, but achieve more, be bigger, better,
Exactly.
faster, quicker, stronger, wiser, all of the things. And it's like, yes. And that is what's driving us in this podcast. And we hope that you guys have your own visions and that you get really clear. And I think number one, with the vision, getting clear is so important. And I'll give you one quick example. So, for a really long time, after I had my son, I wanted a daughter. And I just knew it. I felt it in my body. It was almost like I was like, I know I'm meant to have a little girl. And Cindy, I pictured her. She had blonde hair and blue eyes
Oh,
and little pigtails. And I imagined her coming out of the room that was supposed to be hers, peeking her head around the corner and looking through. There's an iron rod
slats.
railing.
Yes,
Yes, that was
yes.
keeping the upstairs from the downstairs safe. And I envisioned it. And Cindy, for years,
Oh,
I sat on that couch and thought about it and dreamed about it. And then one day it became a reality. And like,
wow.
I think I want to say around 2.5, 3, she peeked her head around the corner and did something. And in that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, I just created the entire vision that I had for that specific thing in my life that I wanted so bad. I actually was able to make it come true. And it's like, you have to be able to do that with your vision for your life. You have to believe in it, think about it, pontificate on it, put it out in the universe, continue to drive towards that vision. And I think the next thing that is really important that goes along with clarity and with your
Well,
vision, you guys, yeah.
yeah.
Should we say our
I was
secret?
going to say before number two, I don't want our listeners to feel that we're just going to throw this out there. We're not going to help them go along with their vision because there's a lot of people out there that are still saying, but I'm still chasing the rabbit. These are great dreams. I like to hear what you say, blah, blah, blah. Wonderful. Great. Well, don't worry. We're going to hold your hand on this one because this is fun. So I think before we go to number two, I want to interject our secret because as you listen to the Girls of Grit, we reveal what we believe will push each topic we discuss. So, when you're creating an amazing vision and you really want to achieve something big, Lisa, what is our secret?
The secret is make a decision. Decide what that vision is going to be. You need to decide not only what the vision is going to be, but then what we're going to lay out for you, which is how you're going to make it happen. But you have to make a decision on exactly what you want, where you want to go, and then it becomes how are you going to get there? And these things are so important. And with the example of my daughter, I wasn't just imagining her. I bought clothes. I mean, I started to make my goals to reach that vision. I wanted to align them. I wanted to make sure that everything I was doing was aligning. I started changing my diet. I got a book on how to make a little girl. Like I would eat things that would change my body. I would buy clothes, not a lot, but a couple things. I would pray on it. I would think about it. I'd talk to moms that had little girls. I mean, I really started to align my vision of having that little girl with all the decisions that I made. And that is so important, I think, when you're creating a vision, is you have to be able to align yourself, your mental state, and everything along with that with your vision.
That was so well said. Because when you have a vision of where you want to go, but then everything that you're thinking or doing is complete opposite, you'll never get there. It just becomes a wish of it's just something out in the world. But when you intentionally make a decision on what you want, and now you start aligning when even just thinking about work. Okay. So if your vision is to have this beautiful beach house, okay, we are blessed that we work in medical device. So we now have to start aligning our thoughts with I can achieve these big goals. I want to have a big financial reward so I can see myself in President's Club. And then what are the characteristics of those in President's Club? They are respectful, they are hardworking, strong
Mm.
work ethic, how they carry themselves. And the most important thing I think about is those that have a vision is they believe it. If you tell yourself, I want this big goal, but yeah, I'm never going to do it, that's not a vision. This big dream you have, if you talk yourself out of it, you're not aligning to ever get to it.
You know what? That is such a great point. And it brings back the question that you asked me in the very beginning. Have you ever met a CEO that doesn't have a vision? If you think about it, Cindy, at least for me, any CEO, any leader that I've ever met in my life, they eat, breathe, and sleep their vision. They are literally living their vision. They're living their dream every day for that company. I mean, it is like they have a mission statement. We have a mission statement. It's put on the wall for everybody to see. You read it every morning. You know where you're going to go. You really try hard. I can't say never, but you really try hard to never get deterred from that. You really try and realign, pivot, whatever it takes. If you feel something pulling you away from that vision, it is so important to pull yourself back. Be a CEO. Start eating, living, breathing your vision. I mean, everything you do, it can even be personal. If your vision is to lose 20 pounds, well, envision yourself 20 pounds lighter. Buy some clothes that are 20 pounds lighter. Eat the healthy foods, do the exercise, do the mental stuff, talk to people that are in shape, get some training help. Like, continually try to keep yourself aligned with that vision and be the CEO of that vision.
You have the power to be the CEO of your own career path. And we have said that. So if you're 22 and you just graduated and your vision is to get into medical device, you start then. You don't have to
Yeah.
actually be a CEO to be a leader. Just like you said, you want to lose weight, be the CEO of your own body, take
Yeah.
care of it,
Yeah.
and believe that, yes, I will lose 20 pounds. Or when you're 22, yes, I will get into medical device. It may not be the next day, but when your vision is big enough, it's the fun, it's the journey, it's having fun and being able to start your path. But if you don't believe you can do it, you'll never get to step 3.
Hang on. Let me give you a quick example actually that just popped into my head. So the other day I was
Okay.
talking with she's a girlfriend of mine, but she's also medical devices. And she's like, Lisa, I am so close to hitting President's Club, but this quarter is kicking my butt. And I'm like, okay. I was like, let's talk about it. So we talked about it, what kind of the hurdles that she was facing. She's like, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to hit it. And I was like, stop right there. I said, listen to me. You have been imagining being in President's Club for forever. You and I have talked about this. You need to imagine yourself on that stage every single day. And how are you going to get there? That's what's going to get you to the stage. I said, do not allow these small things to change your mindset. You do understand this is medical devices. Things change every day. One day you could have a bad day. The next day you get 4 cases. I said, you really need to make sure, sweetheart, that you continually follow that vision of being on stage and winning President's Club, and you will get there. And I said, even if you don't get there this year, you will get there next year. But do not change your vision because you are getting deterred by something, because you feel like you're not going to reach it. Because all of a sudden something came up and you're like, I'm never going to do this. I can't make it. I'm getting my butt kicked by my competitor. I just lost this account. This doctor just left. I had a bad sales call. I had a bad case outcome. All of these things can pull at you and pull you away from your alignment to your vision. And you can't let them. You have to continually go back and say, I want President's Club. I want to be on stage. I want that beach house. I'm going to get there. I'm going to make it happen. And it's easy. It's easy to get deterred.
And all of those things are normal. That's the part of the journey. You're going to have obstacles all along the way.
Yeah.
So that's where your vision comes in. That's where if you have a vision board, some people take pictures and put it on a screensaver on their computer. Some people write down, like, when you will feel discouraged, you will feel like, oh my gosh, this is a bad week. These numbers are bad. Okay, now how do you pivot? This is where you take a look at your vision board. This is where you get yourself back on track. It's not easy, but when you're a high performer, you learn how to pick yourself up. You bounce back, you focus. When you have a vision, that's your North Star. Keep going in the direction you need to go and don't follow the rabbits, and you'll be good.
Right. All right. So number 3 is taking action. So we are talking about now, how are we going to get there? How are we going to get to our ultimate vision? And the biggest thing, you and I talk about this term a lot. I love this term. My girlfriend uses it all the time: reverse engineer. So here's your beautiful beach house. You can see it, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can do all those things. How am I going to get there? And the reverse engineering is, okay, first of all, I need to make X amount of money in order to afford this beach house. Okay, how am I going to make X amount of money? Well, I know that if I do this, 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 and this, I'm going to make this amount a year. And you got to get really serious about it. You got to get detailed. If I hit this bucket and this bucket in my product sales and I get paid 20%, whatever it is, however your commission state, everybody's is different. But let's just say for easy, it's 20% of your sales. Well, if 20% of $1 million, all of a sudden you just made a good amount of money, right? That could be a down payment for your beach house. Okay, how do I get to that $1 million in sales? Well, then now that starts to break down the accounts. Line up your accounts on a little sheet of paper like you talk about, Cindy. This account potentially worth this. This account potentially worth this. Then break that down even further. What are the main doctors? Who are the main customers to call on? And so on and so forth. And then we've talked about this. We talk about this a lot in our podcast about how to get there, how to set goals. We've done a couple good episodes on how to set goals, you guys. I think we did one, I don't know, the beginning of January.
New Year's. Yeah.
Go back and listen to that. Go back and listen now. Literally click pause and go back and listen to this, how to set some good, smart goals. Go do it. That is a step towards your vision.
Yes. And that's, SMART goals: specific, measurable, accountability, relevant, and time. Yes. It's so important that you put on time. And as you go along, you are going to change this as you go. But if you're staying aligned and checking, this is the accountability part. Taking action is one thing, but part of this action is your own accountability. And have your goals, have your mentors, have your support, make it fun. And I'm telling you, you can accomplish anything that you envision when you intentionally form a path to get there. So if you live with purpose, you can design your path. And I think any vision is something you can accomplish. So I just want to kind of quickly summarize today, because today's fun. Today's really fun, because I hope you're driving and you're going to turn this off. And I just want you to turn the radio off, turn everything off, be in silent, and just dream. Now, pay attention. Like, don't visually dream so much that you don't see the car in front of you. So please pay attention to driving. But honestly, our secret to having a clear vision is making a decision. And how do you make that decision? Number one is clarity. But we believe that clarity involves 5 senses. And when you really get clear and write it down, it's amazing. Number 2, you have to align and believe. If you just don't let yourself mentally align with where you want to be, you'll never get to that vision. And then, of course, taking action, reverse engineer, see where it's really far, break it down into small pieces, have an accountability system, whatever works for you. And let me tell you, visions will be limitless.
1000%.
Thank you so much for power play number 5. But now don't forget, okay, a power play isn't a power play without a 2-minute intentional big bang for your buck. So we want to give you a fun call to action today. So if you go to our website, you can click on a PDF where we are making one simple PDF, 3 questions where we talk about clarity, and we talk about alignment, and we talk about taking action. This is where, once you get back from the end of your day, pull it up. We guide you through this very simple step so you don't have to just be in the ring, in circles, chasing the rabbit. We are so excited. Please send us messages and DMs and share with us your vision. We're here to help you get there.